We're going live on YouTube. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Gloria. And
Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Gloria.
so good to hear from you. Uh,
Good morning, guys. I'm doing something else, so I might not be able to jump in right away, but I am here.
Good. Well, do what you do and do it well. Do what you do well. Do you ever know that song? Anyway.
Well, it's rolling meatballs, so my hands are limited.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, okay.
But I'm listening. Love you guys.
Rolling meatballs. Wow, that sounds wonderful. I'm thinking that sounds like something I would like. Meatballs. Except I don't eat beef or pork or anything like that. So but that doesn't mean anything. Let's see. So Iris, would you like to pray us in?
Yes, I'm going to praise him. So, I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Amen.
Amen. So Iris, do you remember where we were last week in the text?
Yes. So I've marked here two places, two places. I'm trying to remember because I marked paragraph 4. Uh, you are very fearful of everything you have perceived. And I've also marked paragraph 6. God offers only mercy. But we went back a little bit last week, if I remember
Okay,
correctly.
because yeah, I'm looking at the recording from last week, and it does show us at paragraph 4, but
Yeah,
we maybe went back to paragraph 4, uh,
yeah.
so we may be on paragraph 6. Is that
Maybe we can go back to paragraph 4 and then continue from there.
okay? That sounds good to me.
Yeah. I don't mind repeating it, like with brain like a sieve. I think it's a really good idea to repeat it often. So, because I tend to read like the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes.
Even if it's like one paragraph, I'll read it every day for 6 months.
I I believe that, and and what I just this morning in my earlier group today's lesson, someone said that they had been uh trying to read The Disappearance of the Universe and had listened to Gary Renard, and Gary Renard said, if you that lesson, today's lesson, if you read this, every day, it would shift you. And they did. They just started reading it every day. And so for over a year, they've been reading this same lesson every day. And let's just go take a look at it real quick because
Oh, thanks.
it's really such a beautiful thing. Let's see. And it is 349. Today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not, but give each one a miracle of love instead. And so would you like to read it? Anyone?
I would love to.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Lesson 349. Today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not, but give each one a miracle of love instead. So would I liberate all things I see and give to them the freedom that I seek. For thus do I obey the law of love and give what I would find and make my own. It will be given me because I have chosen it as the gift I want to give. Father, your gifts are mine. Each one that I accept gives me a miracle to give. And giving as I would receive, I learn your healing miracles belong to me. Our Father knows our needs. He gives us grace to meet them all. And so we trust in Him to send us miracles to bless the world and heal our minds as we return to Him.
Wow. So I guess that's actually the whole Course of Miracles.
Yeah, I was going to read it again because it's so amazing.
Please do.
Lesson 349. Today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not, but give each one a miracle of love instead. So would I liberate all things I see and give to them the freedom that I seek. For thus do I obey the law of love and give what I would find and make my own. It will be given me because I have chosen it as the gift I want to give. Father, your gifts are mine. Each one that I accept gives me a miracle to give. And giving as I would receive, I learn your healing miracle belongs to me. Our Father knows our needs. He gives us grace to meet them all. And so we trust in Him and so we trust in Him to send us miracles to bless the world and heal our minds as we return to Him. Amen.
I'm talking away. Thank you, Iris, for reading it and reading it twice. In the other group, we read it twice too because it's stunning. Mickey, please go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. So, as you guys know, I get together with a couple of gals every morning and we do the lesson, and we also read Alan Watson's commentary. And he pointed out that in that second line where it says, "For thus do I obey the law of love," he pointed out that lessons 344, 345, and 346 all talk about that law of love. And 344, it says, "Today I learned the law of love, that what I give my brother is my gift to me." So I never think to look back and say, "Oh, where did we see law of love before?" But thank goodness Ellen did. And in 345, the second line in that prayer says, "And everyone I give returns to me." And that's referring to miracles. "Every miracle I give returns to me, reminding me the law of love is universal." And the law of love is that what I give my brother is my gift to me. And then in 346, where was it? I just had where it talks about the law of love. No. Okay, in sentence 5 it says, "I would forget all things except your love." 6 says, "I would abide in you and know no laws except your law of love." And so that's those three. And if we go back to this lesson, it's kind of a sequence. "For thus do I obey the law of love." And it's leading us these few lessons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're all leading us up to this, to understand this law of love. And it all goes back to give all to all, which is one of my favorite lessons of the Holy Spirit. That the law of love, God's law is love, is that what I give my brother, I'm giving to myself. So thank you both for bringing this up again.
Thank you, Mickey. And isn't that just amazing? It's so lovely because once you learn that law, and this is before we were reading Absence from Felicity with Bruce, and Bill was writing in his notes how much Helen perked him up when she was perked up herself. When she came to him and she had decided that she was not going to be upset or whatever it was. She really wanted to help him. And by her desire to help him, it changed her attitude. By changing her attitude, it changed her perspective, and it shifted him, because that's what we do. It's that you can shift another person by your attitude. All you have to do is give somebody bad attitude, treat them, be angry with them, yell at them, give them an angry look, whatever it is. We can do that and shift a person into fear and anger the same way we can through being not judging. I love this is for me this I love it that Jesus has gone to the 3-line titles now. They used to be 1-line, then 2-line, now they're 3-line. "Today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not, but give each one a miracle of love instead." Um, it's that looking all things through Christ's vision. You can't. There is no judgment. And so when I look without judgment, that is the miracle of love. When I look at my brother and say, "You and I, we are the same. You and I, we are the holy sons of God. You are the holy son of God himself." And when I can see that in my brother, that's when I can recognize it in myself. And when I can recognize it in myself, it becomes universal. That we join together in a place of love. And so, I was telling the story this morning, which I did tell that yesterday as well, that I saw this video of a reporter in the prison in Syria, and they had gone in there looking for these prisoners that were in this horrible prison that was in Syria, where so many people had been just left to die, or really treated poorly. And so she and this group of camera people and guards, whatever, were walking through. They came up to a cell that was locked, and they could see there was like a pile of blankets in the corner. And they went to, she had the guard had shot the lock off of the cell, off the door, and they went in, and they kind of prodded around, and a man was under the blankets. He stood up and he held his hands up like, don't shoot me, whatever. And so he had been hiding. He had heard the noise. He didn't know what was going on, but he had been hiding all this time, several days since the prison had been taken over. So, he stood up, and they were telling him, "You're free. It's safe. We're not here to hurt you." Although they were speaking in English to him, which I'm sure he did not understand at all. I don't understand why they were speaking in English, but anyway, so as he was standing there with the reporter, and she just looked at him, and she looked around. She goes, "Does anyone have any water?" And someone handed over their jug of water, and she gave it to this man, and he drank and he drank and he drank and he drank, like he was just desperate for. He was dying from thirst, desperate for water. And I mentioned this the other day, and Gloria mentioned how the what is the miracle, where Jesus says that the miracle falls like drops of rain on a dry and thirsty world, where we of all animals have come to die, and just the idea of giving them water. The miracle is the water. And we can, and so this lesson, I would liberate all things I see and give to them the freedom that I seek, give to them the water that I carry with me, that I have here for them, and they are liberated, and they can be free now. Um, it just it just came together so beautifully to me, that our Father knows our needs, and we all have what we need, and we're all given what we need when we need it. Anyway, anybody have any thoughts about this before we go back to our uh, all right. So let's just go back. Oh, Iris, please go ahead, sweetheart.
Thank you, Lynn. I was just thinking that it's like some kind of a decision that we have to make, and it's like some kind of decision that we have to make, and from the start, because sometimes if we just go about our day, and speaking for myself, like if I just go about my day and I haven't actually decided that in the beginning of the day, then it's easy for me to get lost. But if I make that decision at the beginning of the day, like when I start my day, and then I just make that decision, and it doesn't matter like if I have to, because I have to make the same decision every day. And if I fall off the beam, quote the beam, if I fall off the beam, which I will, like many times in the day, I have to remember my decision and I have to come back to that decision. And like I and the other thing that came to me was that like when it says in the beginning that today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not. Today I let Christ's vision, because the me that I think I am is not real. You know, like the me that I think I am is not not really what I am. It's not Iris. It's not this collection of just thoughts and images that I've picked up along the way. Like that's not me. That's just the persona. And the one that makes the decision is the one that is behind the persona. And like I saw that this morning as well, because it's like the I make the decision, is the same self is as all. And like that is the I that makes the decision. And like today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not. Yeah, I just had that I was just thinking about that because I've been thinking about that lately quite a bit. And uh because like Iris doesn't know how to do this. And then like there's the voice in the head that says, oh, I did it not right and I've done something wrong and it should not be like this. No, like that there is a voice, and I've seen like there is a voice in my head that talks, and it talks like, you know, it always has something to say about something, you know, it comments. And but I'm not that voice in my head. And yeah, so like I have to make that decision in the morning or whenever, like, but I need to be conscious that I've made that decision, that it says today I let Christ's vision look upon all things for me and judge them not. And it's the same thing as like the decision for God instead of for the ego. So yeah, that was like going on in my mind, and I'll hand back to Lynn.
Wow, that's beautiful, Iris. Thank you. Thank you for digging into that this way, because that's exactly it. It is the decision for God. And in our group the other night, we were talking about, you know, I can be two different ways. I can be a way where, you know, I'm thinking with the ego and I'm judging and I'm in fear, or I can be thinking with the Holy Spirit. I can be seeing things through Christ's vision. And seeing through Christ's vision, you actually see the you know, the closer to the truth of what is. You see the brother is a divine being, you know. I mean, just think about that. Uh let's see, who was it the other day talking about um being asked to see God and somebody, and it was somebody that they really disliked, and then they, you know, finally eventually saw that, and you know, it was a decision to do that. It was a decision to change the way you see. And so, you know, how beautiful it is to just determine today, right now, today, I'm going to let Christ's vision run the show. I'm going to let Christ's vision see what it is that I'm here to see. So I love this. Thank you, Iris. And let's see if we can get back to our reading without. There we go. Yay, it worked that way. So we are in chapter 3, the innocent perception, judgment, and the authority problem. And we had read on a little bit, but I think we were going to go back and talk about paragraph 4 again. Because we did read paragraph 4. We read paragraph 5 because this is where we talked about if you feel tired, it's because you judged yourself of capable of being tired. It's your own thoughts and ideas. So who would like to read? We'll read 4 and then we'll just go on to 5. Who would like to read paragraph 4, please? Iris.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. So, paragraph 4. You are very fearful of everything you have perceived, but have refused to accept. You believe that because you have refused to accept it, you have lost control over it. This is why you see it in nightmares or in pleasant disguises in what seem to be your happier dreams. Nothing that you have refused to accept can be brought into awareness. It is not dangerous in itself, but you have made it seem dangerous to you. You are very fearful of everything you have perceived, but have refused to accept. You believe that because you have refused to accept it, you have lost control over it. This is why you see it in nightmares or in pleasant disguises, in what seem to be your happier dreams. Nothing that you have refused to accept can be brought into awareness. It is not dangerous in itself, but you have made it seem dangerous to you. So, yeah, I mean, I see that a lot in myself, and I see that about I see that a lot in the way that I look at things. And like, if I take my first response is no. Like, if someone gives me a project to do, my first response is like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because it's too big and I can't do it. And it's scary. And or I don't know how. And and that's just the way I think, I've learned to think that way. Like, I can't do this, it's too big, it's frightening, I'm scared of it, and I'm just going to say no, I'm not even going to try. And I really have to move past that, that it can be done, I can do it, and I will try. And but always, there's the film of thought that says it's not possible, I can't do it, and it's not possible. And that's always the first thing. And today I was looking at this other lesson that said that it comes right after I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. And I looked at that and I was like, exactly, yeah, that is a form of, quote, vengeance, And it's, it's just that film of thought. And it says here that in this one sentence, that all that you fear does not exist. It does not exist because those are my own thoughts. And those thoughts are changeable and they change. And therefore they are not permanent. They're not eternal. They're just changing landscape. You know, one moment it's like this way, and the next moment it's like that way. And so like, and that's what this paragraph reminds me of. Like, it reminds me of like perception, and that's how what it reminds me of. Like, the pleasant disguises, the nightmares, the happy dreams, like, it's none of it is like, none of it actually is real. None of it is true. And yeah, and that's what came to me about that. And handing back to Lynn.
Wow, thank you so much, Iris. Honest to God, thank you so much, because I read this when you were reading this paragraph. I was like, oh, what did I think that meant before? I don't even remember what I thought it meant. I don't even remember what it means. Did I read this before? And I know that I have many times, but it just didn't even occur to me. Oh, what is he saying here? But then you came out and you recognized that it's exactly the same thing that we were talking about earlier. Um, you are very fearful of everything you have perceived but have refused to accept. We're fearful of it because we are making up a story about it. We're anticipating the future about it. We're thinking about, here's all the things that have to be done to get this done, and am I able to do it, and will I have time? And we're looking at all our limitations. We're looking at all our fearful thoughts, and we're looking at these things and saying, I can't control this. I am not in control of the future. So how can I say to this boss, yes, I'll do this project, when I have no idea how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to need, any of these things. And the fact is, you don't need to know. We don't need to know, because all of these projects are done already. These projects were done a long time ago. Now think about this. These projects were done a long time ago. When we first had the tiny mad idea and came up with the idea of projects. Oh, let's scare ourselves to death with projects. Let's scare ourselves to death with with fearful thoughts about the future. And how am I going to get this done? Where in reality, if you just did it, if you just said, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what materials I'm going to need. I don't know any of these things, but I trust that if I'm being given this, that I can do it. I wouldn't be given it if I couldn't do it. And if it turns out that maybe it's the project will be a failure, that's always a possibility too. That has nothing to do with what I am. What I am is, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do step by step, ask the Holy Spirit to help me, look at it through the eyes of the Christ. It's all for me to learn to see, that I am not the doer. I'm not the doer. This has already been done. All I'm doing is watching it being done. And so I can sit here, like you go to a scary movie and you know that eventually the bad guy is going to pop out of the, sewer drain or whatever, then, you're anticipating, oh, bad guy coming, oh, bad guy coming. But this is not like that. This is, we're being given assignments to do things that we're perfectly capable of doing. And it could be that we're perfectly capable of failing in the project and learning something that needs to be done for another project or whatever. I don't know. I'm making up a story here. But the whole idea being that it's just the willingness to say yes, and just say yes to the Holy Spirit. Don't refuse to accept it. Nothing that you have refused to accept can be brought into awareness. Means that, all these things that I imagine are going to happen, um, the only thing that's going to come into my awareness is what happened. So there's nothing dangerous about any situation that I'm in. I was talking about my friend going traveling and, thinking about, oh, I have to pack my bags. I have to do this. I have to go to the airport. I have to park my car. I have to, all these kind of things. Well, you're not doing that right now. Right now, you're talking to your friend. And I guarantee you, when it's time to park your car, you will be parking your car. And when it's time to, um, get on the airplane, you're getting on the airplane. That's just you're doing what was already written long ago. And so the only thing that's making us have issues with it is our judgments. And if today we're using Christ's vision, then we're not putting our judgments on it. We are actually seeing it as a gift and we're heading on to the airport. Anybody else have any comments about this? So we're a pretty quiet group today. That's okay. Iris has her hand up. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lynn, I just have to say thank you massively. Yeah. Like that, I'm gonna like rewind this recording and I'm gonna listen to it again. Everything you said, like that really that is really spot on. Like that's exactly like the like exactly like even the last thing that you said about like the only things like is really my judgments is really that's really what this is talking about in practice, and it hides those judgments hides as like like it somehow like just hides as like, oh, I'm just being quote realistic. And they just hide as that, but really what they are is those are judgments. And it's true, like really makes perfect sense. And yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like yeah, I'm really happy that we are talking about this because it's like so relevant, and thank you, and I'll just hand back the mic to Lynn.
Oh, you're cracking me up, Iris. That is so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you too. And yeah, I mean, honestly, think about this. We came in here this morning, we're looking, what are we reading? Are we on paragraph 4 or paragraph 6? What paragraph? Okay. No, let's read paragraph 4 again. Okay. Neither of us had any notion that reading paragraph 4 was going to open up something in us and give us a gift that we were maybe struggling with. I know it did for me. And let's go look at the lesson. Oh my gosh, let's see how that works. This is the beauty of joining together in this way, is that we have this ability uh to to see, uh to join and to see. I love it. Thank you, Iris. Anybody else have anything on paragraph 4? And we're going to go on to paragraph 5. And let's see, this is a goody. I think we've read this before too, but I think it merits rereading. So who would like to read paragraph 5? Are we all making meatballs? Is that what's happening here?
Sorry, yes.
I know you're making meatballs.
I can read it.
Okay, thank you, Regis.
All right. When you feel tired, it is because you have judged yourself as capable of being tired. When you laugh at someone, it is because you have judged him as unworthy. When you laugh at yourself, you must laugh at others. If you only if only because you cannot tolerate the idea of being more unworthy than they are. All of this makes you feel tired because it is essentially disheartening. You are not really capable of being tired, but you are very capable of wearying yourself. The strain of constant judgment is virtually intolerable. It is curious that an ability so debilitating could be so deeply cherished. Let me read that again. It is curious that an ability so debilitating would be so deeply cherished. Yet, if you wish to be the author of reality, you will insist on holding on to judgment. You will also regard judgment with fear, believing that it will someday be used against you. This belief can exist only to the extent that you believe in the efficacy of judgment as a weapon of defense for your own authority. And what a tangle web we weave when we practice to deceive.
Thank you, Regis. It's maybe your mic is a little too close to your face or something. Are you using a headset? Because you could hear like rustling while you were talking,
Oh,
but
okay.
not bad. I can still understand everything you said. So
Okay, good. I see it. Yeah. I got this beard and sometimes it's get all up in the hair.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we were hearing your beard.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, isn't this true? I mean, when you think about it, uh, anytime that I'm looking at anything and saying that it's unworthy, then I'm I'm gonna be it's gonna make me tired. It's gonna make me disheartened. Um, but he says you're not really capable of being tired, but you're very capable of wearying yourself. The strain of constant judgment is virtually intolerable. Let me read that sentence again. The strain of constant judgment is virtually intolerable. I mean, holy cow. Let's see, Mickey and then Iris. Go ahead, Mickey.
Yeah, that sentence really got me. That really got to me because the ego is incapable of doing anything but judging. So here we are, I'm assuming most of us still believe we're in bodies because we wake up in the morning and we look in the bathroom mirror and see a body. And if we're seeing a body, that means we're believing in the ego. I mean, this is all very loosely being constructed in my brain right now. But, we hardly ever get away from it. How often do we sit there and go, wow, the ego just completely fell away from me. And I feel like totally liberated. Yeah, that doesn't happen very frequently for me. Those moments of being completely aware of spirit and being completely enveloped and embodied by spirit, they're infrequent, which means the rest of the time I'm in ego, and the ego is incapable of doing anything but judging. And so I'm living in a state that is virtually intolerable most of the time. And, I know this sounds a lot like gloom and doom. I'm a pretty cheerful person. So
Mhm.
it's not that I'm sitting around going, oh, woe is me. But just the idea of the pressure that can bear upon us. You know, we have to look at it. We have the only way that we can get rid of that, the ego can't get rid of the ego. That's impossible. But the only relief we get is when we really step back and observe what's going on and how ridiculous most of our time is. That we spend all of this time just running around in circles in our heads, half the time I don't even know what I'm doing or saying or thinking. And and it's only when I step out of that little spiral that goes on that I can laugh at it, and it's not the laughing that it's talking about in the second sentence here in this paragraph. When I can laugh at the ridiculousness of the ego and the that virtually intolerable feeling that it has all of the time, you gotta laugh because it's like a hamster on wheel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that this is great to look at because the strain of constant judgment is virtually intolerable. You have to really crack up at that one because if not, you're going to drive yourself insane. Okay, thanks. I'll shut up now.
I love that. And it's so funny as you read that, it reminded me there's some place where he says, it's crazy that you value that judgment so dearly. The thing that makes that's virtually intolerable. And yeah, think about it. We may not recognize how uncomfortable we really are. It's like a chronic pain. It's like a toothache that just goes on and on and on. You get to the point where you just know that's what it is and it's going to ache and that this is what it is. It's intolerable, virtually intolerable. Whenever I'm in judgment, I'm putting myself in a place where I'm miserable. Wow. Iris, please go ahead.
100%, Lynn. And exactly like what you said, what Mickey said, like the judgment, like what I notice is this judgment, like it likes to hide, as like I don't recognize that, like in this case, like I didn't recognize this is actually judgment. I didn't recognize that. And like I didn't recognize what I'm doing. And it was just completely unconscious, like I didn't recognize that what I was doing is like I was judging. I didn't know that. And no wonder the strain of that was completely intolerable. But when I'm here and I'm talking about it somehow, like, and then I come to the awareness, oh, like, as Lynn was sharing, like I come to the awareness that, oh, when I'm saying like, can't do this and this will go wrong and that will go wrong, and then no, I can't do this, I better like just not do it completely. This is like how judgment comes up in day-to-day life, like in everyday life, like, and to me these thoughts are usual. Like, I've always had them. I can't ever do anything, and I didn't recognize that these thoughts are actually judgment. They are judgment. And no wonder, like, the strain of the judgment is completely intolerable. But I didn't recognize them as judgment. I thought they were just normal, no, a normal way of being, like of being, like I thought they were just, but they're not normal. They're not the thoughts of God, and they're the thoughts of limitation, like, and that is judgment. And like that's one example. And I think once we recognize, like, for that 1 second I had complete clarity and I was like, oh my gosh, and I just felt like relief. And I think that is a little bit closer to like just what we are, like the feeling of relief. And like in Rafi's letting go stuff, like the two ones to let go is to let go of control and to let go of approval, and just go the whole day letting go of control and letting go of approval, and letting go of, there are other ones too, like letting go of security. uh and anyway, like, and the feeling we get is relief, like relief, uh which is like, I'm not so familiar with acceptance, but definitely I can relate to relief, like feeling a bit more ease instead of like feeling tense, the constant strain of judgment. And yeah, so like, but it's like the moment of recognition, which is like a miracle. Like that is the miracle. Like even with quote seemingly small things, like there are no small upsets. They're all equally upsetting to my peace of mind. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you so much, Iris. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Great. This is awesome. And it's free. You can choose anytime, any way you want to be. It's free. You don't have to explain to anybody or figure it out yourself. You just have to decide who I want to see this with. Sharon, please go ahead. Good morning, friend.
Hi. I just want to thank everybody. The sharing is so right on for me. The way Iris was sharing, it takes just a holy instant just to let it all go. And the ego mind says, no, but you have to work that out, or you have to explain, and that's the conditioned mind that's there. And so the habit of always judging isn't really us anyway. It can't be, because it's the judge machine. It's what Keith calls the insane voice talking to itself. But when you make that commitment, it has to be in the moment. Because we could say, well, I'll get there by New Year's, or this year I'm going to put. I have said this 2025 is going to be my year that I just listen to Spirit, and all of that is just a plan, and there is no plan. It's just here right now. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to laugh at myself. And I do not have like any kind of false hope that I won't fall down the rabbit hole, because it's part of the process. I had mentioned that Living A Course in Miracles by Ken Wapnick is something I have from Audible. So what I did was I actually took the whole thing, because he has a PDF of really looking at what he's basically saying, Wapnick. And he's basically saying all the time, please just take your time with this, because what Jesus is asking us to do is absolutely just be. And that's hard for a talking head, until the talking head is finally tired and we say, get down. So when we fall down, I guess for me it's just laughter, because what are we really doing? We're dreaming about ourselves in every place. Like everyone that I hate or don't like is me, and I think that what happens is that for me anyway, I just forget, and especially when you live with other seeming people that are in your dream. So I just want to thank everybody. That was very helpful. And I loved your share, Mickey. You're always sharing spot on for me, and Regis, and everybody here, Iris, and everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I love that too. And yeah, you can say all you want. Oh, 2025, I'm going to do this, blah, blah. Or tomorrow, I'm going to do, the only thing you can do is right now. This is the only time there is. So
Well, like
right now,
Florian wrote, all thought is judgment. See, once you have a thought, right? Unless it's all is well.
yeah,
And even that could be a judgment, all is well, right?
yeah,
But it seems like that feels right. It's a higher consciousness. But really any thought is ego. So
yeah. And I don't even know, if you may define it as higher conscious if it seems good to you. But it's still the same thing. It's still a thought of a world that's not real.
well, it's
And
a thought system, like the Holy Spirit's thought system. That's what
yeah,
it gives us. It
yeah.
gives us a higher thought system for a higher vibration. But there are beings that just don't talk at all. They just sit. And I can't imagine that being this mind,
think
but
we
we'll
call those
see.
trees. Trees, they don't talk, they just sit.
Right. And there goes Regis. I think he had his hand up.
Yeah, Regis, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And this is I actually been reading this chapter in these paragraphs for the last, I think, week and a half or 2 weeks. I've had them actually having them saved on my browser. So I've really been looking at this, and we've been talking about it here at the house a lot in different ways. But I love that this paragraph starts with when you with the word with tired, and I'm I like that this, we know this world is a classroom, and I like that I'm involved, that I'm in a relationship, that I'm involved, that I go out into the world, and because it really gives you an opportunity to see yourself through others. And there's no pill, there's no massage table, there's no acupuncture, there's no all these things that we do to try to find rest. You find rest in the mind, and that's what the whole Course in Miracles is about. If you're sick, the body is not sick, the mind is sick. And so just reading this and everything that Iris said, yeah, every relationship is a holy relationship. uh, and it's important that we just kind of get that. Uh, and I noticed, me and Dove talked about this some years ago, that, we don't require a lot of sleep and we don't be tired, but it's through the practice. That's why the course is we have the whole workbook. Practice, practice, practice. I'm practicing every day, every moment that I can, of non-judgment, of and like Iris so eloquently stated, uh it was sneaky. We didn't realize people are just every thought, like Sharon was saying, every thought is judgment, and it's tiring, it's exhausting. And it's like if we don't see that, man, and so I wrote down, like, who am I without my opinion? Let's change the word judgment to opinion. Who am I without my opinion? If so, we can practice not having an opinion, you know, about every sound, every smell, the five senses. That's the operating system of judgment. And if we can practice uh, that, not that we don't have to respond. We can let the five senses do what they do. They can see, they can smell, they can hear, they can feel, but I don't have to do anything. I just absolutely don't have to do anything. I absolutely do not have to have an opinion. And through that, we'll find rest. We'll find rest to our soul. We'll find rest to our body as we know it. We'll find rest. But it's in that practice of being able to uh, still the mind. And as Sharon was saying, well, the ego thought system is always chattering. Yes, but I don't have to have an opinion about it. I don't have to have an emotion about it. I don't have to do anything about it. And so that is so, and just reading this is so tiring. I watch people around me tired, exhausted. You see people, and it's just they look fatigued. You just, even though they're trying to, everybody, when we in public, we try to put on a face. We try to, stand up straight and muster up some type of false energy. but but you see the exhaustion, and it's just the thinking mind of opinions. I have to have an opinion. Who am I without my opinion? Who am I without my story? And I am still I am. I found out that even without an opinion, even in sitting quiet while everybody else is talking and giving their opinion, and I don't give one, and Gloria said the Christ. Yeah, but I realized I am still I am, even if I don't have an opinion, even if everybody say everybody should have an opinion on this topic, and I don't have one. uh, I am still I am. I am no less. I am no more. I am. And when we come to that place of trust and safety, that I'm safe, as I always have in my background lately, I'm safe. even without an opinion. My opinion does not protect me from anything. Me being all worked up over something doesn't protect me. Or even my opinion, like Sharon said, it's all judgment, whether I'm judging it as good or bad. Like Sharon said, if I say, well, all is well, who said all wasn't well? Whose opinion was it that all wasn't well as it was? So you gotta laugh. Thanks.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Regis. I love all that. And yeah,
I just want to say, Regis, you don't mind me butting in for a minute because I'm
no,
ready
go
for.
ahead. Yeah, take your
But
time.
I
Do it.
just want to say, Regis, that was profound for me because I think I feel like if I don't have an opinion, something could happen to me, to the me that doesn't exist. And I just found that to be so helpful because I often wonder, why can't I just sit? Well, number one, it's because I'm still fearful of love. I have to be. I have to be if I'm still doing it. So it's just helpful when we all get together. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Glorian, her hand is up and it's not covered with meatballs.
Yeah. Wonderful conversation, everyone. I was listening and I loved everything. And I just want to say the only thing we do need protection from is that ego mind, is our judgment. Because if we're not judging, then we're resting in his love. And that's what we're here to do, to rest and be the extension of love's presence as we were created. But when we really get down and look at it, nothing needs protection except our mind from the ego thought system. Have a joyous day, everyone.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Gloria.
love.
All right, you guys, thank you all so much for joining with us this morning. This has been really, really helpful to me. I'm so, so grateful for everyone. And thank you all for showing up and have a wonderful day. I am going to, for the people on Pal Talk, I'm going to go and switch over and put something on Sweet Dreams because my Pal Talk is messed up. Anyway, I love you all, and we'll see you all later.